histrionic personality disorder, this is one of the more interesting ones, actually. It's a mental disorder characterized by huge attention-seeking behaviors. The word histrionic itself means to be overly theatrical or melodramatic, so sufferers of histrionic personality disorder exhibit behaviors designed to draw attention to themselves. People with HPD become uncomfortable and feel hugely underappreciated when they are not the center of attention. In social settings, they become the life and soul of the party. And if they're not the center of attention, whilst, at a party or a social setting, then they'll probably do something overly dramatic to draw the focus of attention onto themselves. Their appearance is often inappropriately provocative, if you know what I mean, in an attempt to draw attention from the opposite sex or from the same sex, whichever. They can act, I suppose, what would be considered overly seductively towards others in inappropriate social situations, such as the workplace, for example, or maybe a retail outlet. And they'll do it with a complete stranger. And people with HPD often think relationships are much more intimate than they really are. They misread relationship dynamics. They'll do things like, caressing the hand or giving a hug to someone that they've just met. And this is very typical behavior. And by the same token, they'll often assume that they're on a first-name basis with someone, in a professional capacity that they've just met. So if they met the Queen for the first time, they'd actually call her Elizabeth rather than Your Majesty. Ironically, they actually have difficulty expressing intimacy in romantic relationships. Now, someone with histrionic personality disorder may also have problems with friendships, especially friendships of the same sex, because their very provocative behavior tends to alienate these friends. It's an interesting disorder. And it's not always obvious because sometimes, the symptoms can be masked by just being considered, a party girl or a party boy or, being mad or being, hugely dramatic. But, yeah, it's an interesting one, HPD. It is.